Hey, what's up guys? Frank here with another video, and today I wanted to make a video to show you how to reinstall or install Windows. In my case I'm going to use Windows 10, but it can also work with other version of Windows, for example Windows 11. And I'm going to do this using my laptop, which already has Windows, but I'm going to reinstall Windows from scratch. And I'm also going to use one of the bootable USB key, Windows key that I did in other video. And so if you don't know how to do a bootable Windows USB key, I suggest you to go watch this video. Okay, so let's go right in. So here we have my laptop, which I'm going to reinstall Windows on. Okay, so basically right now I have Windows 10 on it, and I'm going to reinstall Windows 10 on it because there's a lot of garbage that my computer currently has, and I just want to reset it in order to clean everything up and just start completely from scratch. So I'm going to get a clean state of Windows instead of because you see, I've had this computer for a few years now, and there's a lot of things and that I don't use, so it's just a way for me to clean up everything and just start from scratch. Okay, so what I usually do when I reinstall Windows is that I unplug everything, especially my hard drive. I have this hard drive here that I keep connected on this laptop, but I usually disconnect it because when I'm reinstalling Windows, it deletes everything, and because it deletes everything, I just want to make sure that I keep my hard drive safe. So I usually disconnect it just to make sure that nothing happens to this hard drive, because there's a lot of backup information and whatnot. And so once you did that, I'm just going to connect my USB key into the computer, which is right there. Okay. Another thing that I suggest that you do before reinstalling Windows and resetting your computer is to make sure that everything that is on your computer is no longer useful. Okay, because since you're going to reset and reinstall your laptop, you want to make sure that everything that is currently on your laptop is no longer useful. Okay, because you're most likely going to lose all of your files and lose all of your programs. So before doing anything, make sure that everything that is useful, you keep them on your hard drive or anything, maybe a USB key or something like this. That's exactly why I actually have this external hard drive. Okay, so before making this video, I've already done it, but if you haven't, I suggest just going through your files and your documents and everything, and make sure that you keep everything that is still useful. Okay, so once you do that, you can simply shut down the computer. So once your computer is shut down, you want to go into your BIOS screen. And so to go into your BIOS, it really depends on your computer. Sometimes it's F2, sometimes it's F12, sometimes I think it's also F8 or F5. So it depends on your computer, but you want to access your BIOS so that you're able to boot the computer from the bootable USB key, okay, and not from your actual computer. To access the BIOS, oftentimes it's really early in the startup of the computer. You have some kind of screen that tells you which key to press. Okay, so here I had the setting, the little screen here. I don't know if you saw it, but it's basically a little text that told me that I could press the escape button to access this menu. Okay, and so what you want to do now is I want to go into you can either go into the BIOS setup, or you go into the boot device option. Okay, so in my case I want to go into the F9, which is the boot device options. And so basically this startup here is basically unique for every computer. So I know that this laptop is quite different than my other computer, which is right on the left. And so again, like every computer is different. So but what you want to do is either go into the BIOS or you want to go into the boot option. Okay, so in my case I'm going to press F9. So right now it's telling me, okay, which device do I want to boot? So here I have the first option is the hard drive, which is usually what your computer uses. But now I also have this other option, the second option, which is my USB hard drive. Okay, so now I want to boot from this second option. So I just press enter. So right now, as you can see, Windows is loading, but it's actually not Windows from the computer. It is Windows from my USB key. And now it's going to ask me, okay, what is it that I want to do with this computer? So I'm just going to fill everything for me. So I live in Canada, so I don't know if there's English Canada. Yeah, English Canada. And so the keyboard that I use is usually the Canadian multi-language keyboard. So let's see here. Canadian multilingual standard. Yep, that's the one that I use. And then I'm going to install now. So for now, I don't have a product key because the product key is related to my computer. So right now I'm going to install Windows 10 Pro. And so you just make sure to use the Windows 10 version that you actually have. Okay. And to know which kind of Windows version that you have, you can simply go into your settings and the system, and when you go into the info at the bottom, you can see here the Windows specifications. And so in my case it's Windows 10 Pro. So in my case I'm using Windows 10 Pro, so I'm going to select Windows 10 Pro and then I hit next. Then just accept the license. And then in my case, since I know what I'm actually doing, I'm going to do a custom install Windows because I will be able to change a partition and drives and all these things. And since I'm comfortable with these things, I'm going to go with this option. But if you want a simple installation, you can select the first one, which in this case you can keep all your files, you can keep all your application, and you can keep all your settings. But in my case, I'm going to go with the custom because I want to start from scratch, and because of that I'm going to go into the partitions and actually delete everything in the partitions. Okay, so in my case I'm just going to delete absolutely everything. I'm going to select this drive now that I just deleted absolutely everything. And now it's basically deleting my drive, everything on the drive, and it's reinstalling Windows on the drive. So it's deleting absolutely everything, and now it's going to reinstall everything. So I'm just gonna let this installation going, and gonna come back later on when it's ready. Okay, so this can take a while to install Windows. So right now Windows just finished installing, and now it's going to restart the computer. So right now it's installing Windows, and you're pretty much done with the USB key now. Okay, now that Windows is installed on the computer, you no longer need the bootable Windows USB key. Okay, so now I'm just selecting the region that I am. So I live in Canada. So basically right now we're just restarting from zero. So the right keyboard for me, I use a Canadian multi-language keyboard. So I'm not going to add a second keyboard. So basically here you simply select the things for yourself. So now I'm just going to connect to my Wi-Fi. So now I'm going to add my key for my Wi-Fi. So now it's basically loading, but before having this loading, it asked me a bunch of questions about data, advertising ads, and Cortana, and I basically declined everything because I don't want any junk or useless stuff on my computer. So I just basically declined everything related to customized data, customized advertisement, customized Cortana, because I don't use these things, but you can enable them if you want. Okay, so right now the computer is doing a bunch of things, so I'm just gonna let it happen. And oh, okay, almost there. Okay, so here we go. So now I just reinstalled Windows completely, and I deleted everything related to the old version. So right now I basically have completely new settings. I deleted all my programs, I deleted all my files, and so it's a basically completely new state. And from now on, what I would recommend is going into the settings and make sure to um, check for updates to make sure that Windows currently has the latest version and all the updates. And make sure to restart the computer a few times so that it gets all the updates and it install all the updates. As you can see right now, there's a bunch of updates that I'm going to install. And so once everything is downloaded and installed, I'm going to restart the computer to make sure that these updates get installed. Okay, and once these updates are installed, I'm going to reinstall all my programs. And so I hope that this video was helpful to you, and let me know if you have any question. Okay, peace.